Today we're going to see the biggest road-accessible glacier in the world. To get to the glacier, you have to pass through Stewart, BC, cross an international border into Hyder, Alaska, and then drive 30 kilometers back inside the Canadian border, past the Premier Mine, and several beautiful viewpoints to get to the summit of Salmon Glacier. Not only is this the largest glacier on Earth that you can drive to, it's also the 5th biggest in Canada. After I had taken all of my photos and videos, I sat down on a boulder and took a long while to appreciate the breathtaking panoramic views at the summit of the glacier. I love that such places exist in this corner of British Columbia that most people have never even heard of. It feels like a sacred place that only people who are interested in unconventional adventures will find and take the time to explore, and I feel fortunate to be one of them. This was my favorite viewpoint on the way to the summit, and we caught our first glimpse of the toe of Salmon Glacier. Honestly, I realized that the remoteness of this destination makes it prohibitive for many people. It's hundreds of kilometers away from the nearest city, which is why I'm sharing my experience with you, because I think everyone should have the opportunity to know about and get to see some of the Earth's hidden natural gems. But in case you decide to make the trip up to Salmon Glacier yourself, I've put links to some helpful and informative resources, as well as my top 5 travel tips for visiting, in the description down below. There's a parking lot and all the amenities to have a nice picnic, but make sure you bring warm layers as it can get quite nippy and windy at 4,300 feet. There are no fences, which allows for unobstructed views and access, so it's important to be careful and watch your step as you take in the fantastic view to a huge glacier underneath you. In addition to driving through the active Premier Mine site on the way, we drove past the summit viewpoint where we saw some old abandoned mine shafts in the mountains. Most of my footage from the drive back is bumpy and our windows had gotten quite dirty, but the views on the entire drive are stunning. Life really is a big adventure. Thank you for joining me on mine, and I'll see you next week when I take you with me on a tour of the eclectic border town of Stewart, which was our home base during our adventures in Alaska.